Picture yourself in ancient Cyprus, 300 BC. You are not just anyone, you are the founder of Stoicism, Zeno, a merchant whose wealth is as vast as the seas that he traverses. Your ships, laden with treasures, sail across the Mediterranean, but then, as quickly as a tempest rises, your world is upturned. Off the coast of Greece, your vessel, a symbol of your life's achievements, is devoured by the relentless ocean. In one cruel sweep of nature, you stand bereft of everything: wealth, status, security, all sunk to the depths of the sea. Now place yourself in Zeno's shoes at that pivotal moment. Your life's work, amassed over years of toil and trade, now lies in watery ruins. What courses through your mind? Anger, despair, a sense of betrayal by the gods? These feelings would grip most men, but you are Zeno, and this disaster is the crucible in which the philosophy of Stoicism is forged. In this defining moment, ask yourself, as Zeno did, how do we face the storms of fate? Is there strength in surrender? Wisdom in accepting what we cannot control? This is not the genesis of Stoicism. It's a journey into resilience of the human spirit, a journey where you, like Zeno, confront the ultimate question of what it means to truly triumph over adversity. In the heart of the ancient Mediterranean, on the sun-kissed island of Cyprus, was born a man destined to leave an indelible mark on the philosophy of the Western world. This man was Zeno of Citium. Born around 334 BC into a world where trade was the lifeblood of empires, Zeno was not just a witness to the vibrant interplay of cultures and ideas, he was an active participant as a prosperous merchant. His life revolved around the bustling ports and rolling waves, constantly seeking, trading, and building his fortune. But the course of history, much like the seas, is unpredictable. On a voyage from Phoenicia to Piraeus, a city bustling with intellectual fervor, Zeno's life was about to take an unforeseen turn. As his ship, heavily laden with precious cargoes, navigated the azure waters of the Mediterranean, it encountered a tempest so fierce that not only it threatened the vessel, but also the very course of Zeno's life. The ship was claimed by the sea, taking down with it all of Zeno's worldly possessions. In that moment, standing amongst the wreckage, Zeno found himself at the crossroads. The wealth that he had amassed over the years, the identity that he had built as a merchant, were all irretrievably lost to the depths. It was a loss so profound that it could have broken the spirit of any man, yet for Zeno, it became a moment of profound awakening. Stripped by his material wealth, he was left with nothing but his thoughts, his will, and an emerging realization that there was more to life than the material possessions and societal status. After his ship was claimed by the merciless sea, Zeno, with nothing left to his name, embarked on a journey to Athens. This was not a mere physical relocation, but a quest for a new direction in life. He may have traveled by foot or found passage on a vessel heading towards the great city, a common route for travelers and traders in those times. Regardless of the means, it was his profound loss and inner search for meaning that truly paved the way to Athens. Once he set foot in the city of wisdom and debate, Zeno's life took a pivotal turn towards the philosophical path that would define his legacy. No longer a wealthy merchant, he was a man in search of meaning amidst the ruins of his former life. Athens, a city buzzing with philosophers and scholars, offered a fertile ground for his intellectual rebirth. In this vibrant city, Zeno's path crossed with that of Crates of Thebes, a famed Cynic philosopher. Crates' teachings, emphasizing simplicity and virtue over material wealth, resonated deeply with Zeno, echoing his recent personal experiences. From Crates, Zeno learned to question societal norms and values, to look beyond the superficialities of wealth and status. Zeno's thirst for knowledge was insatiable. He dug deeply into the works of Socrates, whose methods of seeking truth through questioning influenced him profoundly. He also encountered the ideas of the Megarians and the Platonists, each adding layers to his understanding of philosophy. But Zeno was not just a passive learner. He critically engaged with these teachings, forging his own unique perspective. As he wandered the streets and public spaces of Athens, engaging in discussions and debates, Zeno began to crystallize his thoughts. His philosophy was not just an academic exercise, it was a practical approach to living a fulfilled life. He sought to answer the very questions that had arisen from the ashes of his personal catastrophe. How should one live? What is true happiness? And how can we find tranquility amidst chaos? In his introspection, Zeno realized that the true power lay not in external possessions, but in mastering one's mind and emotions. This was the cornerstone upon which Stoicism was built. He began to teach that virtue was the highest good, and that living in accordance with nature was the path to achieving true happiness. Zeno chose the Stoa Poikil, or painted porch, in Athens as the place to share his philosophy. This was symbolic, as Stoicism was not confined within the walls of academia, but was open to all. Here, Zeno laid down the principles of Stoicism, emphasizing control over one's emotions, the importance of living in the present and focusing on what one can control. Building upon his rich learning experience in Athens, Zeno began to distill his philosophical insights into the tenets of Stoicism. His teachings, while grounded in the wisdom of his predecessors, took on a new life in his hands. Stoicism, as envisioned by Zeno, was a reflection on his personal journey and a response to the universal quest for meaning and happiness. Zeno's Stoicism pivoted on several key principles that he himself practiced and preached. At its heart was the idea of living according to nature. This meant aligning one's life with the rational order of the universe, understanding that everything unfolds as part of a greater design. Zeno taught that by living in harmony with this natural order, one could attain serenity and fulfillment. Another pivotal aspect of Zeno's teaching was the concept of virtue as the sole source of happiness. He asserted that external circumstances, whether they bring pleasure or pain, are ultimately indifferent. True happiness, according to Zeno, is found in cultivating personal virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. These virtues enable one to face life's challenges with equanimity. Zeno also stressed the importance of understanding what's in our power and what's not, a concept central to Stoicism. He advocated for a focus on our own actions and attributes, urging his followers to cultivate self-control and detachment from external events. This approach, he argued, leads to inner peace and freedom from suffering caused by desires and fears tied to things beyond our control. Through his teachings at the Stoa Poikil, Zeno's Stoicism became a beacon of wisdom, guiding individuals on how to lead a meaningful and balanced life. His philosophy was not just a theoretical construct, it was a practical blueprint for living wisely and well, resonating through the ages and remaining relevant even in the complexities of our modern world. After establishing the foundational principles of Stoicism, Zeno delved deeper into its nuances, offering insights that were both profound and practical. His philosophy was not just about responding to life's adversities, it was a comprehensive guide to living wisely. Zeno's teachings extended into the realm of personal ethics and social responsibility. He believed that each individual was part of a larger whole, a universal community. This perspective fostered a sense of interconnectedness and empathy amongst his followers. Zeno encouraged them not to only seek personal tranquility, but also to act with fairness and kindness towards others, reflecting a deep sense of justice and communal well-being. One of Zeno's remarkable contributions was the concept of cosmopolitanism, the idea that all human beings, regardless of location or cultural origins, are citizens of the world. This radical notion was a call to transcend local allegiances and to recognize our broader obligation to humanity as a whole. Zeno also explored the complexities of human decision-making and ethics. He taught that while we cannot always control the outcomes of our actions, we can control our intentions and efforts. According to him, it's not just the actions themselves, the reasoning behind them that defines their moral value. This perspective empowered individuals to focus on their own virtues rather than external validations or results. Zeno's philosophy transcended the boundaries of personal development. It provided a framework for understanding the world and our place in it. By advocating for virtue, rationality, and global citizenship, Zeno's teaching left an indelible mark on how we perceive our role in the tapestry of life. His Stoicism, intricate and profound, continues to inspire those seeking a life of purpose. While Zeno's Stoicism was revolutionary and influential, it did not go unchallenged. Both during his time and subsequent eras, his philosophy faced criticism and skepticism from various quarters. Among the contemporaries of Zeno, other schools of thought often posed challenges to Stoic doctrines. Skeptics questioned the Stoic idea of living according to nature, arguing about the subjective interpretation of natural order. Epicureans, advocating a life of seeking pleasure and avoiding pain, often found themselves at odds with the Stoic dismissals of external goods and pleasures as irrelevant to true happiness. With that being said, some critics found the Stoics' emphasis on emotional control and suppression unrealistic. They argued that emotions are an intrinsic part of human nature and that their complete control or suppression was neither feasible or desirable. Some people also thought that Stoicism would lead to being overly passive in the face of injustice and adversity. Others also criticized Stoicism for its high moral values and self-disciplinary standards, which seemed unattainable for the average person. Despite these challenges and criticisms, Zeno's Stoicism continued to evolve and adapt, influencing a wide array of thinkers over the centuries. The robust dialogue and debate it sparked were testament to its depth and relevance. Zeno's philosophy was not static, it was a living, breathing doctrine that continued to inspire and provoke thought, helping individuals navigate complexities of the human existence. Zeno's death marked not an end, but the beginning of a lasting legacy. His philosophy of Stoicism, redefined and expanded by his successors, continued to shape thought and influence lives well beyond the confines of ancient Greece. Following Zeno, Stoicism was further developed by philosophers who added layers of complexity and depth to the Stoic doctrines. The school of Stoicism gradually evolved, blending with the cultural and intellectual milieu of the Roman Empire. It found adherents among some of the most influential figures of the time, including statesmen, writers, and even emperors. Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, among others, are testament to Stoicism's far-reaching influence. These figures, each in their own way, embodied and propagated Stoic principles, making them accessible and relevant to a wider audience. Marcus Aurelius's Meditations in particular remains a cornerstone text offering insights into the Stoic way of life. Fast forward to modern times and the ripples of Zeno's Stoicism are still felt. In philosophy, Stoicism has been revisited and reinterpreted, contributing to ethical and existential discourses. In psychology, elements of Stoicism have influenced cognitive behavioral therapy, emphasizing rational thinking and emotional regulation. Zeno's legacy transcends time and geography. Today, in an age of rapid change and uncertainty, Stoicism's teachings on resilience, inner peace, and the focus on what one can control resonates more than ever. Zeno's life and philosophy continues to inspire those seeking to navigate life's challenges with grace and fortitude. Reflecting on the life and philosophy of Zeno, we find ourselves deeply inspired by his enduring wisdom. His remarkable transformation from a wealthy merchant to the founder of Stoicism stands as a powerful tribute to the resilience of the human spirit. His teachings, centered on virtue, rationality, and inner peace, continue to offer guidance and solace in our own lives. In a world that often feels chaotic and unpredictable, the principles of Stoicism, acceptance, emotional mastery, and focusing on what we can control, are more relevant than ever. Zeno's legacy teaches us that true contentment comes from within, and that by embracing Stoic wisdom, we can navigate life's challenges with greater poise and clarity. Zeno's life story and the philosophy that he gifted the world are not just historical footnotes, they are vibrant, living ideas that continue to enlighten, challenge, and inspire us. As we focus on our own trials and tribulations, let us draw upon the timeless wisdom of Zeno and the Stoics, finding in their teachings a beacon of light to guide us through the complexities of our modern existence.